Hello, I hope I'm live. This is the first time ever, and I'm not really sure if you can see me or even if you can hear me. Hopefully, you can. But what I'm going to do, you'll have to bear with me because it's the first time ever. I'm going to do some painting with oil pastels. I'm going to do a tiger. I'm going to show you some of the tools that I'm using to do this. I'll do that first. And then further from that, I'll just get on with some painting. You can see how I render things. And if you can hear an echo, it's because of my computer. I'm going to see if I can turn it down. Bear with me because this is so new to me. Right. I can't hear myself. Brilliant. I think I've done it. No, I can. There's a bit of a delay, I'm afraid. Just bear with me. No, I don't know what I'm doing. Well, what I can tell you is on my computer screen, I appear to be upside down and in the bottom left-hand corner, but on the camcorder that I'm talking to, I appear to be in the top right-hand corner and the right way up. I'm also getting an echo, so I'm not really sure what I have to do. So bear with me. You know, this is just an experimental live stream, and like I say, I'm going to get on with some painting, so I won't be saying too much. Every now and then, I might say something, but I'm going to show you the picture that I'm going to try and attempt. So hopefully you can see that. All right, we're going to attempt that in oil pastels. I tried this once before and it didn't go so well. And the reason for that was because I was basically just doing it on the wrong paper, really. I think the oil pastels in themselves didn't help too much, but I was trying to do it on a canvas and they just really weren't working for me. This time I'm doing it on my favourite paper, which is the Clairefontaine Etival Aquarelle watercolour paper. So some of the tools I'm going to be using today, well, first but not least, a cup of tea every now and then. I'm going to be using a couple of small colour shapers and a large colour shaper. I don't know when I'll use them, but they'll all come in handy. I have a small brush just for brushing crumbs off if there is. I have cotton buds. I have a large brush. So a few tools there. And in addition to that, I will have a palette knife for a scraper if I should need it, and some of these sponge tape type tools for blending. And I also have one of these knives. I forget what they call them now. A slice knife, that's it. A slice knife. So all sorts of little things, really. Scrapers. Not that I'll get to that point, but there's an oil pastel holder as well. So, yeah, I've got them close and handy. I've also got some baby wipes should I need them. So they're all close and handy, and I would be thrilled to bits if you can send me a message. I see I've got one already. Hello, Connie. Yeah, I don't know what to do with that, Connie. It is upside down. I'm not really sure why. I mean, there's going to be lots of mistakes in this for definite. So I will try and iron them out for next time. Yeah, I did have a look beforehand, but I've got all these wires kicking about at the moment. Until yesterday, I didn't really know what I was doing with them. I've had to attach a card to my HDMI sockets. I've had to attach a wire to that, and then I've got my lamp on for for my painting, and then I've got my wife's iPad so I can keep the picture on view because I couldn't get one printed. Oh my, you wouldn't believe the amount of stuff you have to do and get prepared for. I've been preparing for about an hour and a half now. So anyway, I'm going to perhaps turn me off at some point because that would be a good idea if I'm upside down. Can't paint standing on my head, can I? Very good, Connie. Um, well, at least I look human now then. But what will happen is when I start painting, I think you'll find that the picture will be upside down. I'm not really sure. I don't know. Mind you, the picture is the right way up for me, so maybe it's the wrong way up for you. Weird. Seems very weird. I wonder if I turn my camcorder around, it will adjust everything and I'll be upside down in the camcorder, but on the right way on the screen. But anyway, what I'm going to do now is that I've drawn the picture out. I hope you can see that. You won't see it very well, I know. I've drawn the picture out, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get in this case, a Faber-Castell polychromos, and I'm going to get it in red, and I'm going to outline that. So if anybody wants to get a cup of tea, that's a good time. While I just outline this and go over the top of my pencil lines, I'm going to use a bit of blue tack just to lighten them in the areas that I feel I need to. And then I'm going to draw the outline, and then from there, I'm going to start on the eyes. So I'm just going to get on with it now. If you want to talk to me, please do. I'll keep looking at the monitor, and got any questions, I'll try and answer them. And yeah, there's going to be mistakes. Sorry about that. They will get better as we go on. This is an experiment. Right, I'm going to turn me off. There we go. There you go, gone. Thank God, you say. Right, so I'm going to start with the eyes. I'm just going to lighten them up a bit. The reason I'm doing this is because we don't want any pencil in the moving into the oil pastel itself. So I'm just going to go lightly over with this red pencil, and that will not mix with the oil pastel. So just basic guidelines, really. It's going to take me, I don't know, 15 minutes for this, I reckon. Yeah, hopefully you can see that a bit better now. Of course, when you're doing this, people don't realise that you are at a funny angle. You can't just move a painting board like you can when you're on your own painting to your heart's content. I hope you're still with me. I have no idea why my camcorder turned off. As I say, there's going to be mistakes. If you hear it go off, I'll keep turning it back on. It should not have turned off because it's actually plugged into the mains. Ooh, anyway. At least you're here to witness all my mistakes. And there will be many. This picture has been sitting in my living room, covered up in this pad for months now. It's, Like I say, I started it on a canvas and it didn't work out very well. So I then rendered it on my favourite paper. And it's been sitting there waiting for it to be done. So it'd be a good idea to do it for this. If anybody wants to have a go at this picture, I can tell them where to find the photo for it, the photo reference. So give us a shout at some point after, perhaps, and I'll lead you to it. It's just lighten these lines a bit. I tend to press and dab rather than rub because I don't like to rub the pencil into the paper. I like to pull it out of the paper. Just a little bit lighter than it is already. I don't suppose we'll get too far with this today, but it'll always be there for another time, and you'll be able to see how I progress through the channel, and you'll be able to see how I start. It's so long since I rendered this, it's hard to remember what some of these lines are. So I'll just put them in and then we'll go back to the photo reference and take it from there. Don't necessarily have to draw the picture in, but I just find it's the way I prefer. Keeps me in check. A lot of lines that will disappear unless you do this. So that's why I'm going over in red, because it won't rub out like a graphite would. I'm only going over very fast. A lot of adjustment as I paint, probably. Very fast. A lot of adjustment as I paint, probably. Very fast. Anyway, I'm glad you could join me, Connie. It's nice to know you could see me and see what I'm doing. See, a lot of these lines have already rubbed out. So I'm putting them in where I can see them, and then we'll take it from there. So that's done. I'm rubbing, aren't I? It's because it's such a big area. This is quite a big picture, partly so you can see it, partly because that's how I want it to be. My wife reliably informed me that EastEnders are going live tonight, so she said if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me. Yeah, I should say so. I wonder if she'll join us for a chat in a minute. She's busy getting the tea ready at the moment. Spaghetti bolognese, and my wife is cracking cook. Right, I think we've got it. Now, you're going to have to bear with me because this isn't going to be a fast process. People don't normally get to see. She's already watching me. Little beady eyes. So it's going to go very slow, but you know you can't work quick when you're doing something like this. Not realism, Connie. The pastels I'm using are the Mont Marte. I've got a set of 120 soft ones, and I've got a set of 48 of the harder, more student ones. So that's a new thing as well. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to start off with the eyes. Let's find a colour. Okay, so you don't necessarily need to fill it completely in. I'll get my colour shaper and use it like a paintbrush and just spread it out. It all depends what pastels you have, how well this will go. You can overlap the other areas quite easily. The other areas quite easily. I have used canvas, Connie, but only for small pictures. I really did like it, in fact. But it is a lot harder to do the realism that I do on a canvas. So, I tried to go bigger, and it hasn't worked out this time. I don't think it won't in the future. Right, I'm trying to find a nice dark blue. So I always underline any black bits with blue. Let's see if I can find my darkest blue. Hmm. So we use this. There we are. Here's the blue. Shape it. now I'm going to actually just put a little bit more of this green in. And we're going to find the actual eye colour. So let's find the appropriate colour for that. We'll go for this, I think. Again, just add some colour in. When you're doing little areas like this, you don't need too much colour. Yes, Marie. See, parents just answered. Just 3 dogs and 3 cats. Thanks for joining, Marie. Just a small apology if you can hear me making some random funny noises. It's because I have arthritis in both my shoulders. So this isn't always the easiest of things to do. So there, we've got this shaped in as best we can. Now you can keep adding to this, or you can progress. I'm going to get the black just to fill in the eyeball, or the pupil, I should say. A little bit of colour on top of the blue. So here's a bit of a learning curve. If you go over a colour and you don't actually mean to, or there's no way you can be away from it, you scratch back. So if I scratch this out, please forgive the camera keep going off. I'm going to have to sort that out, ready for another time. But as I was saying, you can scratch that out. Sometimes it's a question of just keep playing with it till you get it right. So I'm just going to add a little bit more green in. I picked up the wrong green, never mind. So just put a bit of the lighter green in. All helps with realism. Okay, that's that bit done. What I'm going to do now, and I could have done this before I started, is to try and get a highlight in the eye. Let's see if we can scratch back to the white of the paper. There we go. And if I want, I can get hold of the white and just dab that in as well. As I say, sometimes there's a bit of a mess around. And get it eventually. Right. So what I'm going to do now is, because I have a black area, I'm going to underline it in blue, which is what I always do. There is the option to break the pastel at this point. So I'm just keeping them whole for the moment. That's the blue, which underlines the black. And shape. And shape. There are various ways of getting what you need here, but I'm keeping it to just oil pastel at the moment. And you will notice not a pencil in sight apart from to outline the original drawing. I know lots of people won't do their oil pastels the way I do, but this is how I achieve detail. Can anybody else hear a squeaking noise? Like birds? I don't know what that is. Some sort of feedback, I think. I think I'm going to do is do just zoom in a bit. There you go. All looks very messy at the moment. It will. Sounds like we've got the aeroplanes going over at the moment. They've heard I'm doing a live stream. They want to bomb me, I should think. Okay, well, that's nearly all the eyes done. What I am going to do is to get my scraper, this one, with the curved edge. I'm just going to scrape out a highlight around here. And that's a highlight. All adds to the realism, hopefully. Now, the reason I can do that, as you probably all are aware, is because I was able to put the blue underneath. And here is a little bit. And then you just shape to your heart's content. Get it looking as nice as what you want it to look like. You can always go back to it later. So I'm going to do a bit now, which is a bit, I wouldn't say difficult, but it's going to test where this picture is actually going to go. So I'm going to get the baby white. I'm going to white by white. Make sure that's clean. So looking at your reference, follow where the whites are. In general, you start off with all the lightest colours. If you happen to get some colour in, you can just scrape that out. This is a sort of picture that there's going to be a lot of colour mixing into other colours that actually shouldn't be, but that's something that I will show you at the end of how to rectify and clean everything up. When we eventually get there, it's going to be a long, long time before we get there. That's the right part right there. Have I still got you all? I know it's a slow process. Thank you, Connie. Yeah. It's a strange thing sitting here in a shed, basically speaking to yourself to some degree. So it's nice to know you're all there. And we'll put the light colour on under for the orange parts of the tiger. At the moment, I'm using the harder pastels. When I did this before on the canvas, I started off with the blacks, and that was the biggest mistake I could have made. Why I did that, I don't know. I wouldn't normally, so but we all make mistakes, and nothing I'm going to worry about. Bring this down to here because the colour changes from here onwards. And this is just the underlayer. Down to here, because the colour changes from here onwards. Just the underlayer. Connie, can you hear if I'm echoing? Because I say what I say, there's a bit of a time lag, and then all of a sudden I hear myself again, only vaguely in the background. I'm wondering if you're getting that as well. Oh yes, I have got focus. I think that's probably because I went in front of the camera. Oh, thank you. You have got a slight echo. All right. Right, if I just move, just needs time to focus, I think. As I said, I'm not very technically minded. Oh, that is a pain, isn't it? It's probably because I leaned in front of the camera. There we are. We'll turn off. There we go. Got rid of it. Now I'll zoom in again. Wow, 43 minutes already. Where does that time go? I'm just blending this down. Oh, 43 minutes already. Where does the time go? Well, most important thing. Thank you, Karen. Okay. Best focus yet. Brilliant. We'll get used to it, I'm sure, eventually. So I'm just putting an underlayer of white in. Line there is just to divide where the whiter area was and the other area, but I'm just putting out into that darker area. It's all a very slow process. I'm just going to go over with this. So there's a bit here where this bit should be white, and I've gone over with yellow by mistake. I'll just scrape that back as far as I can, and then just go over it. Now, that does depend on the power of your white, how much it will cover, but in this case, it's not the biggest deal in the world. So this part in white. Honey, Rosie, Buster. Right, so we're going to work up to some darker colours now. Try and find the right colour. Two possible colours here, so I'm just going to test them down on the bottom right hand. Right. So what I'm doing is I'm going with the harder pastel still. It's going to be the raw sienna. So what I'm going to do is pick out where the slightly darker areas are to begin with. Slowly but surely. A little colour, not much. There's no rush, is there? We don't have to finish this today, do we? We just have to do a little bit. So just randomly adding in colour. This is going to take a lot of messing and manipulating about to get this fur effect. And the tone changes slightly to more of this kind of orangey colour. I'm just going to put a little bit of that in there. A lot of manipulating about to get this fur effect. It's all about looking for differences in tone. More of this. I'm just going to gently blend this in. Couldn't have chosen a harder picture if I tried, I don't think. I'm not one to be beaten. This is early days. You notice there I've got a little bit of black into that. Now, normally I'd worry about that and I'd scrape it out, but in this case I don't have to because this has all got to go a lot darker, a hell of a lot darker. And a lot smoother. You notice that I'm still blending. I'm trying to get it as smooth as I want it to be and as blended as I want it to be. Rested on the eye, look. I'll move that again. Just to bring it back into focus, so to speak. That will happen from time to time. Should really have something to lean on. There, now I have. This would be of interest because I've got all this colour over here. You'll notice because I laid the white underneath, yeah, and you'll notice I can straighten that out, most of that away. I'm going to have to sort the times out on this camera. That's one thing I'm going to have to do. Something I hadn't really contemplated for because normally it doesn't turn off. I'm just getting an idea of where I might lay the fur at the moment. So I say these are all underlayers to help me move the way forward. Just a plan, effectively. say these are all under layers. How I move the way forward. Just a plan, effectively. I have no idea what all that feedback is. Sounds like it's coming from somewhere in my room, but there's nothing plugged in over there. Coffee with cream, lovely. Okay. So I need to go quite a lot darker with all this yet. So I'm just going to add in a couple of touches of black, just so it starts taking a little bit of shape. As I say, this is exceptionally early days, but I just want to get a sense of where I'm going with it. For anybody that's watching that wasn't here at the start, this is my very first live stream, so I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing. I'm trying to achieve the ability to be able to do live streams, and at that point I could actually offer out art classes and things like that. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do yet, but there's going to be mistakes, so please bear with me. This is my very first live stream, so I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing. And please, by all means, say hello. I'd like that. I suppose at this point it'd be a good idea to say, what do I think of the Mont Marte Oil Pastels? I've not really used any of the soft ones overly yet. Truthfully, they're okay. I'm not too impressed. I'm not too upset about them. I mean, it's a case of you have to get used to every pastel that you use, but yeah, I mean, I've used better. Hi, David. That's my pleasure, mate. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I do what I do, and I just hope it helps. And hopefully it has. And thanks for watching. Hopefully you're a subscriber, and thanks for being a subscriber. But yeah, at the moment, this is all just a mess, isn't it? Please excuse the video keep going off. That is something I've got to get to grips with. It's okay because I can hear it go off, so I can turn it back on. But, when I said that to David about the subscribers, I cannot see all of the subscribers I have, unfortunately, um, which is a bit annoying because I do like this community, but in time, I'm sure that I'll get to know more and more and more of you. You'll note that I'm just doing it bit by bit, not rushing. If I was doing a more abstract picture, which is something I just don't do anyway, but if I was, I'd probably go a lot faster than this. So I hope it's not boring you. But this is just kind of the way I carry on. We get there eventually. It's not something you see too much, is it? That oil pastelists showing their work in real time. So I don't mind doing that. Anything you have to worry about is if you mess up. At the moment, it's too early to tell. Something to see too much, is it? That oil pastelists, especially with this being very believable picture, we'll get there eventually, I'm sure. Just have to keep darkening up and getting to a point where I'm happy with the darkness, and then add in the detail over the top. Oh, thanks for being a subscriber, David. Yeah, I'm learning from my mistakes, especially with the video recording. So thanks for being a subscriber. I appreciate it. I really do. I never thought 6 months ago I'd be in a position that I'm in now. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not the best position to be in, but it's actually moving forward, and that is exciting. And I shall soon be on 3,000 watch hours, and that in itself opens up doors to other things, which is the reason I'm doing this today. Because I'll be able to do these sorts of things. Beginning to think I should have chosen an easier picture. But I've always wanted to do this picture, so, you know, it's a good reason to start, isn't it? You wouldn't normally do all this fur and stuff like this, but in this case, I just think it's going to lend itself to the picture. It's not a normal oil pastel to some degree, but it does show all the techniques. It's a good reason to start, isn't it? All this fur and stuff like this, but in this case, I just think it's lend itself to the picture. Oil pastel. Wow, Connie, that is one hell of a compliment. I'm blown away by that. I really am. Wow. Oh, I'm all red now. You've made me blush. Look. Thank you. One of the top on YouTube. That is just wow. Yeah, I have a few that I really like. I like. Not that he does a lot of oil pastel, but I like Shibasaki. Really, really like him. I like that he does the crayons. As you may know, I've now ventured into looking at crayons. I just think they're going to be really fun to play with. And I really, really love Woodamo. I couldn't follow his. I couldn't follow his techniques. They just. But he doesn't do it like this, does he? He does it in all fast time, and that doesn't help. But you know, it's all a matter of time, isn't it? And my pictures take me so long that this is really hard to do. So I have to do it like this, or I'm going to have to do it like this, and hope that people like to watch it. But time will tell. Another one I like is Misako. Misako? I believe it's called Misako. And she's superb. I mean, I just take my hat off to her. And another one I like is Dan Art. I watch them occasionally. Can't say that's particularly my style, but recently she's done a couple of really nice pictures I really do like. And yeah, but my style is, I think, quite different. So I suppose a little unique in the fact that I get this. I suppose you'd call it realistic look, detailed look, which a lot of people do find strange, hard to do. You can hopefully here I'm getting two different tones of colour now. Now, if this carries on the way it does, this is going to take me forever a day. And, you know, I can come back and do some more of it if you wanted me to. I don't want to bore everybody there. But I think that'll hopefully, if I can master it, be quite a realistic picture. This is not what I would normally do because well, I just don't need to because it doesn't call for that. My oil pastel picture of mine so far is the one that I have as the header on my YouTube channel, the one with the boat. It's the place where I go to holiday in white and absolutely love it. And yeah, that's really my favourite and the most detailed. Well, this one, as that happens. Connie, if I had the chance to write a book, well, that's the wrong thing to say. I do have the chance. I just don't know where to start, and I don't know who to put it to. I have written once to, not Collins Books. I can't remember who they are now. They do lots of art books. I did write to them once saying I'd like to do an advanced oil pastel book. There is an oil pastel book that they've done, but it's very much for beginners, in my opinion. So I'd like to do an advanced one. But starting is quite another thing, to be fair. You can see we're getting quite a lot of fur effect now, which is good. I'm going to have to change this colour in this area though, so I'm probably going to have to go over it again and try and master getting the colour rather than the detail. But you can see here how I use the blacks and the dark areas to make the fur stand out on the edges, and that will set that apart from this area, and that will then hopefully give you some free dimension to it. It's just a case of just a case of being patient, I think, more than anything. I can hear my dogs bark, and I wonder if they're there to come out. Right. What I'm going to do, because you won't want to stay here all day, so I'm going to do the nose. You can see here, use the blacks. Let's find a decent colour. In this case, I'm going to go the opposite way round to what I normally go, and I'm going to put the darker colour of the nose in first, because I want to blend the highlights into it. I do apologise about that camera keep turning off. I'm going to have to look into that and sort that out. I'm sure there must be a setting in there somewhere, hopefully, anyway. So these oil pastels, these Mont Marte oil pastels, there's quite a bit of They're not blending as much as or as easily as I thought they would. I think I prefer the Art Ecos to these. They say that the Art Ecos are the same. Well, no, they're not. They're not the same as these. This is a small area, and it's kind of pilling a bit. Because it's the nose, it doesn't matter. Oh, that's fine. I'm now gonna then just lighten up the top area of the nose. Not these. They say that the artificial you'll notice here that the white has gone into that area, but because I do this, it removes some of that white and blends it into it and gives you the two tones that you want to have the highlight on the top. And the lighter you press, the lighter the colour will stay. So you just, I mean, I am touching this very, very lightly, literally just touching it and blending the oil pastel that way. You don't need to press hard. Well, not for the technique I use anyway. So, and in all honesty, it's the technique I chose myself because I'm completely and utterly self-taught. I haven't actually ever been to an art lesson in my life. My art teacher told me I wasn't good enough to do the exams. So, yeah, you're all watching me, and I wasn't good enough for the exams. Oh dear. Allegedly, anyway. That's now become very blended and very nice. So, it's all a bit of a mess. I'm now going to tidy it up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around this in the black. This time I'm not going to put blue underneath. I want it to be black. And in any effect, there's white underneath it anyway, so the blue. Want it to be black. In effect, there's white underneath it. So, all right. Now there is black on this top part of the nose, and that will be used to flick out white over the top of the nose. But what I'm going to do is I'm not going to actually touch that with any oil pastel. I'm just going to smooth this out, and then with either this blending tool or another blending tool that I have, I'm going to use that to pick up some of the colour and to draw that round the top edge. Everything should be alterable, or able to be corrected. Bring that around there. Look, use black from here as a palette, if you like, to pull that round. I'm going to pick up a bit of this colour on this little blending tool that I have. Don't ask me about it because I'm going to get to it in a video. Be a while yet, but I will help you and help all the members of my community. So I'm using that to just pull some colour around here because there isn't much colour. And just smooth that round. One of the big things in oil pastel is to keep correcting yourself. So this will all become, let me get that out. We don't want that in there. You just scrape that out and it's removed. Blend all this out again. Using your blender a bit like a pencil. I'm going to get a grey. I'm going to let this go to about 2 hours. And then I'm probably going to say that's enough for today. But I will probably come back again to do some more of this. I might do a bit in the meantime. But obviously, you will be able to see what I've done, and I'll show you all the techniques for all the techniques that I use anyway. Further on from that, this all needs gently blending out. And I'll show you what we're going to do with this. All adjustment if you want it to be correct. Just so let's have a look here. This bit should all be white. So bring back the white. And it's that black that's making that white stand out over the nose. You'll notice that I've changed to a stick scraper. And the reason I've done that is because it's thicker and I can get the effect I want here with that. Of course, not forgetting to clean it as you go. Oh, Tony, um, you've probably got it upside down because that's just how this has ended up. It's my first live stream, and for some reason it's all upside down, but we'll sort that out for another time. But hopefully you can see it's a tiger. Yes, as I said, it's my first live stream, Tony, and you know, I'm going to iron out the mistakes from here, hopefully. But for some reason, and I have no idea why, my camera also keeps turning off. Normally it wouldn't. I'm sure there's probably something in the settings, so I'll have a look at that when I go back indoors after this. But up until this week, I didn't even know how to do this. So I'm just chuffed that it's happening. It's a very slow process, though. So I'm just going to tidy up this eye again, so I don't leave it like that before I go indoors. Just get rid of all these crumbs. The crumbs from where I've scratched rather than the crumbs from the actual oil pastel. So anyway, let's just have a look and see if we can tidy this eye up. So just go back over it to begin with. Blending the black back down. Right, there's the black at the outside. Put some colour in the middle. Put a little bit of colour on that one as well. And take this pupil just a little bit smaller. Bring a bit of colour into the eye, a little bit of brightness into the eye. Yeah, nice. We'll do the same here. It's worth noting that there's always kind of quite clean colour underneath, so if ever anything gets dirty, just scratch away and see what happens. I'm just going to blend the edges so it isn't so harsh. There we go. I'm just going to get a little bit of black just to darken that up slightly. Like I said earlier, it's all about adjusting all the time. That one's already scratched out, but what I'm going to do at this point is to get the soft white, if I can find it. I'm going to get one of my little tiny blending sticks that I have here. I'm going to put a nice white highlight in if I can. Yeah. If you don't quite get the shape you want, you just need to draw around it. Right, I'm going to call that a day for now. I've not done too bad for a couple of hours work, really. So, see if we can get me back on the screen. Upside down. Oh dear. Right, let's bring you down here. Okay, so that's a couple of hours. You can see that I haven't got that far. I've done a good bit, but not that far. Thanks for everybody that's joined me. Please subscribe, please like, please comment if you'd like to see this again, or or something similar, something a bit quicker maybe, and not so large. This is quite a large painting, or it's going to be anyway. But it's going okay. Well, it's not what I wouldn't expect at this point. There's a long way to go. I suppose in the context of the picture, we've done about 5%. So anyway, please have yourselves a great day, great weekend, and I will catch you in the next video. Take care for now. Just pop back to say cheerio to Marie and to Holly and David and Tony and anybody else that was watching. There was a few more watching. Not bad for a first live stream with loads of mistakes, but I'll iron them out. Anyway, as I said, take care for now, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now. Can you believe it was as simple as just turning my camera around? I have it on an arm. I've turned the camera around and now everything's back to where it should be. I hope. If it's any different, please let me know.